All right. Let me put my face up here. Hi, guys. Happy Monday. I'm always excited every Monday. Like, I know you guys think I'm just being extra, but I'm super excited to be here. I really love connecting with my community. And tonight we're doing a little something different. Well, actually, a couple of different things, but the most important different thing we're doing that I want to say, because I know I'm going to have some people viewing that don't typically view, is that we typically go live every Monday at 6 p.m. to our LinkedIn family, our private Facebook community, and then our paid private community. But tonight, I decided to give access to this video live to my friends, family, Facebook acquaintances. So we are live on my personal page as well. So if I say anything about go to this section or go here, just know that is because they are in a private community and they have a little bit more access to our entrepreneur resources and things of that nature. And you definitely can join us in our private Facebook community if you so wish to. Please just let me know in the comments and I'd be happy to send you an invite to one of our private communities. So with that being said, welcome to Monday Night Live. Again, we host this training to our private communities every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via live, right? Facebook, mostly Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. All right. So tonight, the second little thing we're doing differently is I said, let's do some slides. Matter of fact, let me make sure you can see me and the slides because I want you guys to see me too. All right. So yeah, we do. Typically, I'm not all fancy with the slides, but I said tonight, just for the sake of you guys being able to see some things, I wanted to go ahead and include some slides in our presentation. So hopefully it doesn't make some of you be like, what is going on? All right, so let's get into the presentation for tonight. So for those of you who are new, let me first introduce myself properly. I'm Corey Fonville Foster. I'm a transformational speaker. I'm a certified business coach, trainer, and I am the CEO of iRock Marketable Business Solutions. We're based here in Virginia, USA, but we help small business owners, mostly coaches and consultants all over the US, solve, just really big marketing problems on a budget. That is what we do. And we do that through our Done With You coaching services and our Done For You marketing services. So if you're ever in need, if you're a small business owner, if you are a coach, if you are a consultant, and you are struggling to start your business, if you're struggling to run your business, with your budget in mind, if you are struggling to scale to six figures, then this is the place where you want to be. We do have a free private Facebook community where we do a lot of cool events, have some amazing resources, and of course do this Monday night training. So if you're interested in that, definitely just put in the comment section that you want to just say invite. That's the easiest way. Say invite in the comment section and I'll be sure to DM you an invite to that private community. All right, so one of the things that we believe at iRock is if you take massive action, you'll see massive results. Simple enough. And so one way that we want to support you guys in seeing massive results is we want you to show up for yourselves. Show up for yourself every Monday night, at our trainings. And if you do that, what we do is we give you a little incentive. And that incentive is a hot seat coaching session. So what is a hot seat coaching session? Let's talk about that real quick. So a hot seat coaching session is where you get to join me on a private Zoom, just me and you tell me about your business, your goals, your hopes, your dreams, and what you're struggling with. And in that session, right, I give you some strategies and things to act on right then and there to push you from where you are to closer to where you want to be. And you get to see, one, you get the benefit of the session because you get those action items. But two, you also get to see what it's like to work with a coach one-on-one. And I think some of you may have not had that experience before. And I have seen, and you guys can see if you're in the private community, because I post these videos, some of the benefits and the results that these individuals get. So with that being said, let's go ahead and announce our winners. Oh, I forgot to tell you how you win. So you win by engaging in the live. So put a comment, heart something, like something, ask me a question. If you participate in any way on the live, even if you're hashtag replay, what we do is we look at all of the responses, we put them into a raffle, and we pull at least one winner a week. And then we announce that winner, and those winners, like I said, receive that hot seat coaching session. So our winners for tonight are, drum roll please, Mary. We have Mary. We have, I think is it Ian? I can never say the word. It might be Ern. It's on the screen. And Kessia. I am really bad with names, y'all. So if those names were easy to say and I just butchered them, I apologize. But that's why I put them on the screen. Either way, I will DM the winners, and those winners will find out how they can claim their free hot seat coaching session. And if you want a free hot seat coaching session, make sure you engage with this post on one of the platforms where it is currently streaming. Fair enough? All right. All right, so something we like to do at the beginning of our session before we get into the meat of what we're here for is kind of go through some announcements, because this is where most of you are with us. Some of you may engage with our posts throughout the week, but most of you join us for the Mondays. So let's go ahead through our announcements real quick, and then we'll get to why we're here tonight. So first announcement, we have another February masterclass, and this masterclass is with Kevin Wayne Johnson. It'll be on February 17th at 6 p.m. Reminder, the masterclasses are not in the private community. They are in a private Zoom room. In order to go to the free masterclass with one of our expert speakers, you must register. And I say that over and over, you must register. You must register. You must register. It's free to attend. The registration doesn't cost you anything. But you must register, and we ask that you do show up live. There is a prize that we give out. So if you come live, you go into a raffle, and we give away a power hour, which is an hour coaching session with myself. And then, of course, our speakers have been giving away some really cool things as well, but you got to be there to get it. If for some reason you life is happening and you're unable to attend live, it's okay. You will get a replay, and you get 48 hours to access the replay as long as you register prior to the event. Prior to the event. I'm gonna keep saying it because I'm telling you, it never fails. Somebody reaches out and says, "Oh, I wish I could have got the information. Can I get the replay?" No, you cannot. Please. This is about learning to take action. This is about accountability. I want to hold you accountable. You say, I work with you guys day in and day out, and you're saying, hey, I want to do this and I want to learn that. We're bringing you these experts. I'm asking you to do your part by registering and showing up, and we'll take care of the rest. So if you're in the private community, I've gone ahead and put the link. If you're watching it from anywhere else, I'll put the links after the video. So just bear with me on that, because my assistant is not with me tonight. So I'm only one person. I won't be multitasking everywhere. All right. Second announcement. I'm super excited about this event. If you were in our private community last year, people were like, we want to go deeper into sales. We want to go deeper into sales. I heard you. And I said, okay, we will put something together to go deeper into sales, because we've been doing a little bit here, a little bit there, but we've put together a 5-day challenge. It'll take place February 20th through the 24th, and we'll be starting every night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, there is a general admission ticket and there is a VIP ticket. So just know there are 2 different tickets. If you want the general admission, you still get all the cool things that are included. That's the daily training. That's an hour session per day. You get a challenge workbook. You also get daily implementation activities, aka homework assignments to do, because we learn by implementation. You also get access to the private event community space. And those are the things that general admission gets. Now, I will say this. For those of you saying 2023 is my year, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get all the things, right? Get a VIP ticket because you're going to have questions. You're going to want feedback. And the only way to be able to get everybody what they need is to split up the ticket. So VIP, people who are really trying to do all the assignments and really want feedback and want to move faster towards their goal, you get an extra hour of Q&A in a private Zoom room during the event. So you get the 1 hour of training with everybody else. And then after that, we go into our private Zoom room where we're going to have Q&A. You're able to share your screen. You're able to ask me questions specific to your business. You're also going to get bonus scripts and templates because I like to just hand out the things. Just hit here, take it, and then edit and go about your business. You're also going to all get a one-on-one 30-minute strategy call with me. And why are we doing this? Because I get that 5 days in a row can be a lot. You're going to get everything you need to get your sales system together, but you may in a couple of days say, oh my goodness, I want to change this. I wish I could ask her a question, or I've ran it for a couple of days. I want some feedback on this. You're able to set up that strategy session after the event and actually sit down and talk with me one-on-one and make sure that all your homework has been completed and that you don't have any outstanding questions or concerns, so that you can, again, make 2023 your best year yet. So if you're interested in coming to the iRock Sales Challenge, whether you're coming general admission or VIP, you definitely can use this link. I will put it again in the private community, and you can join us there. And I will say the replays will be available, but you will have a limited amount of time. If you're general admission, you have an extended amount of time for replays if you're VIP. More information on this event coming soon. All right, so let's get to why we're here, y'all, because I appreciate you bearing with me through the announcements. But like I said, I try to get them done quickly, but make sure we get them done so you guys know what opportunities you have with us at iRock throughout the year. All right, so what are we talking about tonight? Avoid spamming and warm leads with value. And so that can mean a lot of things, but what we are talking about tonight is email sequence, right? Email sequencing, automating your emails, basically setting things up to have less work later. And I actually have a little saying I use with this, and I'll show my face so you can actually see me for a second. I have this thing that I do, and it's called I'm high maintenance to be low maintenance. I'm high maintenance to be low maintenance. What does that look like? Every Sunday, and I used to show more of this, but I've been busy. But every Sunday, I clean my house. I make sure all of our laundry is done. I do all my planning in my planner. And I also meal prep for like the week. I mean, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the whole family. I watch the dogs, like anything that I can get out of the way to make my life easier throughout the week, I take care of on Sunday. And most people would be like, why aren't you relaxing? Well, I do relax. Usually Sunday, I also do like skincare, hair care, all the things. But I make sure that I'm high maintenance on one day. I do a ton of work so that throughout the week, I don't have to stop and be burdened by a lot of additional tasks that I could have already gotten done. And so while we're going to talk about email marketing tonight, I want you to understand that it's going to sound like a lot. It is. It's going to sound like a lot. And you're going to be like, how is this easier? Because we're going to be high maintenance to be low maintenance later. If we go ahead and take care of this work on the front end, then we can enjoy the benefits on the back end. And we'll talk more about how this cycle can be duplicated, replicated, all the things, so that we're not remaking things. Once you put these things in place, you can edit them, you can duplicate, you can do all those types of things, and you're not remaking things every time, taking up all your time. All right, so just bear with me. I know it's going to sound like a lot. I know it's going to sound overwhelming. Believe me, when I first did my first sequence, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. But once I got through it, I was like, okay, cool. I can just edit this and it's running, and I don't have to think about it ever again if I don't want to. So just keep that in mind. All right. So because I hear the Super Bowl is next weekend, because I used to be a Redskins fan. Now that the Redskins aren't the Redskins, I've just fallen off football. But I decided to still throw this picture in here because I hear Super Bowl's next weekend. So I want to ask you, what plays are you running, right? What marketing plays are you running right now in your business? Are you running defensive marketing strategies? Are you running offensive marketing strategies? Are you doing special teams? What kind of plays are you running, right? Because I want to know, because I think for some of us, we're more comfortable on one or the other. But in order for us to have a solid marketing plan, we really have to be good at both defense and offense, right? We got to be good at playing football all around. So when you are thinking about your marketing strategies, I want you to think about that, because I can't tell you how many times people will come to me and be like, well, which one do you think I need? What do you mean? Which one? I think you need all. I think you need all of it. Little this, a little that, because you have to meet your audience where they are and engage with them the way they want to be engaged. And just like if you are doing a presentation and you're thinking of everyone's learning style, right? You're thinking of people who want to hear you speak, people who want to read what you're writing, people who want to actually get their hands in there and do the thing. All those things, that's just like marketing. Some people are going to want to engage with you through email. Some are going to want to engage with you in person. Some are going to want to engage with you through your podcast, through your website, and the list goes on and on. So I want to know, what plays are you running? Are you doing defense, offense, a little special teams, all of the things? What does that look like for you? So let me break that down a little bit for you. Defensive marketing. Those are things and this is my definition here. Things like social media, right? We are putting it out there and we hope people engage with it. Your website, you make it, it's amazing. You want people to come, you want to get that traffic, you want them to see it, peruse it, get some good value. Your podcast, you make it, you hope people listen in, or if it's a visual podcast, you hope people watch. Your blog, it's there, people can see which articles resonate with them. Now, on the other side, offense, you're going to put yourself in front of your audience. That's things like speaking engagements, running ads, right? Because you're targeting those ads, you're pushing yourself in front of your potential clients. Phone calls, dialing them up, text messages. Text messages are really popular right now. If you haven't gotten at least one business text message, you are really lucky. Let me know how you did it. But yeah, text messages, and of course your emails. Businesses are purposefully, Lordy, I can't talk today, putting themselves in front of their target audience and saying, hey, I'm here. This is what I do. This is what I sell. And you, if you are doing business and you are marketing yourself, need to have a little bit of that too. Don't worry about being, too showy or flashy. This is a business. In order to have business clients, in order to run and be successful, you have to show up in front of your audience. And then I also want to note, because I did mention special teams, I put lead magnets under special teams because a lead magnet can be something that you pay for. It can also be something that is non-paid, that kind of sits there. There's the special teams, like I said, this is your kickers and things like that. But your lead magnet is still a really good marketing strategy. So let's talk email marketing strategies, because that's what we're here for tonight. So because I know we have people that engage with my company that are at different phases, a lot of people, because I know some of you are like, well, I already know some of this. A lot of people are brand new. They have a thought, a hope, and a dream, right? They're just figuring out what their passion is and trying to decide how to monetize it. So bear with me through the beginning of the presentation. I try to move quickly to get to the meat of it, but I can't start in the middle because then I know I've lost several people. So let's talk a little bit about email marketing real fast. Now, there's different types of email marketing. And the two types we're going to talk about tonight, or kind of encompass tonight, is the fact that you can do broadcast emails and you can do sequence emails. Your broadcast emails are your one and done. So you do it once, you send it out, and it's finished. If you've ever just sent out an email, you've broadcasted an email. And we'll talk more about the types of emails that can be in these different categories. You also can have a sequence email. These are the types that I find new business owners don't optimize. A sequence email is one in which you set up several emails in one sequence, and then you will put your audience, right, their emails into the list, and they will get those emails in a certain sequence. So what does that look like? Say, for instance, you have a 5-part email sequence. So you have 5 emails that you're putting into this sequence. You can name it whatever you want. It can be for whatever you want. And we'll talk about that as we get further in the presentation. But the cool part is that you can decide over how many days, my dogs are doing it again. They get me every time. But yeah, you can decide over how many days this sequence will air. So for instance, you can say immediately they'll get email 1. In 5 days, they'll get email 2. 5 more days, they'll get email 3. And then it can go on and on and on. And that's really cool. Now, with that being said, what makes it even better, right? Because you're like, okay, well, cool, I'll throw them in there. But you can add people to the sequence at any time, and they will still go through those emails based on when they go into the sequence, which is really nice. So you're not saying, okay, on January 1st, you get an email, and January 5th, you get an email. You're saying when the person gets put into the system, they will get an email. And then 5 days later, whenever they happen to be put in that sequence, they'll get the second email. And so that really allows you to nurture the lead and say, okay, cool. I know that because this is what my target audience wants, I can send them through this sequence, and this will be the journey they take. And by the time they get through, they'll be ready to make this action, which could be a purchase or what have you. Sorry if you can hear the animals barking. My house is never quiet, I promise you. All right. So let's go a little deeper into broadcast emails. What are some types of broadcast emails? Things like newsletters, digital magazines. Maybe you have a new product or a new offer that's coming out. You can just send out like one quick email. Maybe you have a product update. I get that from my coaches. A lot of times they'll update the product and I'll just get like a quick email blast saying, hey, the product, this has been updated. So typically, again, it's a one and done. It's sent to your target audience, or it can, and these emails can be sent to potential leads. They can be to your actual current customers. You can decide who it goes to, but it's how you send it is what matters. So the broadcast, that one and done, again, could just be a random whatever, but it's you sending one email to your audience. Now let's go back into the sequence. What kind of emails would you send in sequence? Well, you can have welcome email sequence, right? So if somebody is new to your company, they're going to go through a welcome email sequence, and we'll talk a little bit more about that one in a few minutes. You could have maybe an event coming up. I just talked to you about our challenge. I literally sat down and wrote a sequence. Actually, it has 2 sequences, but sequence for getting them from interested to the event all the way through the entire event. So you can set up sequences for that. Excuse me. You can also have a product launch. So maybe you have a product coming out and you want to warm people up to that product. You can actually do a pre-launch email sequence and then do a once they purchase sequence. And then you could also, after that, do a, checking in, maybe you're beta testing and you're going to ask for testimonials and different things. Especially if it's a live launch, you could then have a sequence for that. The key to a sequence is just knowing if you can know like when people are going to need the emails. If you don't know when exactly they're going to need the emails, then you don't want to put it in a sequence. And then automated emails, they're a little different from the broadcast and the sequence emails because they're triggered by an action. So let's talk about that real quick. So what does that look like? Say, for instance, someone purchases a product from you. Well, if they purchase the product, you can have in your email system a trigger that then will send them an email saying, hey, here's your receipt, or this confirms your product, or here's how you access your product. It's not something that you would type up and then send out. It's something that would already be put in your system. And as soon as that person, whoever it is, purchases, they would automatically get that email. You can have a confirmation email, right? That could be automated. And you can think of it kind of like if you've ever had like a corporate job where you go away and you have your away message. You know how if they send an email to you, it automatically will send them back an email, right? It triggers that email to say, hey, I'm out of the office. Be back on Monday, whatever the case may be. That's the idea of the automated ones. They're triggered by an action. So you could also have it, maybe they submit a form. So that could be you sit out, hey, fill out this form. Maybe it's a questionnaire, what have you. Once they're done, they receive an email from that. It could also be tons of other things that help you nurture your leads, and you're just sending out additional emails based on whatever action they take. You do have to set these up. They have to be, well, I shouldn't say have to, there may be some loopholes, but most of the time these are going to be through a emailing platform. These are not things that you're going to set up in like your Gmail, your Hotmail, do people still have Yahoo? those types of platforms. These are going to be things that are put into your email platform. And we've talked about different email platforms before, such as GetResponse, Flowdesk, ConvertKit, Aweber, MailerLite, all those. I prefer all-in-one. I use Kajabi, and I recommend Kajabi to all of my coaches and consultants, especially if they have multiple offers, just because you can do a lot of things in one place there. But in all of these platforms, you can set up funnels with your emails. You can set up lead magnets with emails. You can set up broadcast sequences, all of those things. They may be called something a little different because every platform likes to change the name. But if you look at what they're used for, you will see these three categories: the broadcast email, the sequence email, and then, of course, the automations that are triggered by different actions. So tonight, because I want to make it really simple, I'm not going to go through all the different possible sequences. I want to give you a sequence for your welcome sequence. That's it. So, because I know every single one of you will need this. I don't know all the products you're going to sell, and I don't know all the other needs you may have. But, and if you do have other additional needs, you're like, hey, I need help with sequences, definitely reach out to me. But for the sake of tonight, let's talk about just your welcome sequence, because I think that that's going to be the most benefit to anybody who's doing any kind of emailing. So let's talk about what that might look like. This is a 6-part welcome sequence, right? 6 parts. So you're getting 6 emails. Now, I like a good 10. I'm going to be honest with you. And for my clients who are just starting off, I'll be like, okay, I'll take 5, but no less than 5 is my opinion. I like 10 only because depending on who you talk to, they say that between 7 and 9 times is how many times you need to be in front of your audience before they're really ready to make a purchase. And if that is the case, I want to make sure that whichever way in which they're engaging with me and my company, whether it's they're mostly through email, they're mostly through Facebook, they're mostly through Instagram, they're mostly through events, whatever the case may be, I want to get in front of them that, 6 to 9 times, or it's the 7 to 9 times, however many. So this sequence is 6. I will say if you want to do additional emails, then you're just going to give more value. Right? You're just going to duplicate number 3 and kind of put it in between the other offerings. That's the magic right there. Nothing super special. So let's go through the sequence real fast. All right. So the first email is your welcome email. I don't really care how you got them to the sequence. Most of you will probably do it because we've talked a lot about lead magnets and getting them from your lead magnet, which I recommend as a webinar, and putting them into your email list. When that happens, they go into your sequence. At least you should set it up for them to go to your sequence. That first email is going to be you introducing you and your business to them, telling them your brand story. The goal for the first few emails is to get them to not unsubscribe, okay? You don't want them being like, who is this? Why are they emailing me? Unsubscribe. Because that's sad. You don't get to, engage with them. So you don't want to be super salesy. Most of this whole sequence, if you look, we don't sell to the last one. Not saying you can't invite them to chat with you, engage with you in some way, but we are not selling them a product or a service until the very end. All right. So the first one, again, we're going to introduce your business, introduce yourself, tell your story. Again, why should they care? Why should they stay on this email list? I know I get tons and tons of emails from everybody and their mom. It is overwhelming, and I really have to decide who do I want clogging up my inbox. And if I find that you're sending me just a whole bunch of like, go to this event or buy this product, and it's usually like buy the product, it's constant, I'll give you like 2 emails. If I see that's what you're doing, I will unsubscribe because I don't know you. And we've talked before about know, like, and trust. They need to know you. So, hey, you're telling them your story. They need to like you. What is your brand about? What's the personality behind it? What's the vibe? And then they have to trust you. Have you given them any value before you say, give me some money? So the first email, we're just saying, hey, like you would do a normal person, introduce yourself. It can be a video with the email. It can be just words, maybe throw in a cute picture of yourself or your logo, something. But the goal is to introduce yourself and your brand to this audience and let them know why on earth are you in their inbox? Why are you there? The second email is going to acknowledge their need or their want, right? You need to get to the heart of the matter in that second email and say, okay, what is their pain point? What does my business do that can solve their problem? And name the problem, right? Are you this? Are you struggling with that? Right? That's what we need to ask them. And they're like, yeah. Because we want them to say, and we've talked about this before too. When we talk about marketing, we want them to say, me too, not so what. So if we're trying to get them to say me too, they need to identify themselves in the email. So, hey, are you and I'll say coach or consultant, right? What is their struggle? Struggling to make consistent sales, right? They're like, yes, I am a coach or a consultant. Yes, I am struggling to make consistent sales. Okay, so then they read on. And so you let them know, maybe some common reasons why they're struggling, maybe some common pitfalls that you've noticed in the industry, maybe give them a little bit of value on how they can avoid the struggle they're in. But you want to name their need or want, and you want to let them know how your company supports that need or want, right? How do you help that pain point? You don't need to go into detail. Again, we're not selling them anything, we're just informing them, because again, we want them to say, okay, I'll let you stay on. I'll let you stay in my inbox. I'll keep listening. And like I said, at any point, you could all, of course, put your social media links. Of course, invite them to hit you up if you want, hey, you feel free to book a call or shoot me a message or respond to this email with whatever. You can give away free things throughout this whole entire sequence if you like. Maybe you got an ebook, maybe you got a cool LinkedIn article you might want to share, whatever the case may be. We're just not selling them anything. You don't want to ask for money. Okay, I want to make that very clear. It's not that you can't give them things or tell them to download or go here, go there. We're just not selling them anything. All right, so your third email, we're gonna hit them out the park with this. We're gonna give some of our best content. We're gonna give value, so tips, strategies, some way in which they can find support and get a quick win. We're all about quick wins. This can be an additional lead magnet. This can be a little video on your YouTube channel, whatever the case may be. But we want to give them something to walk away and be like, I learned something from there. Make it fast. People are not trying to read a whole book in an email. But you do want to give some value and give some really good value, right? Because they've opened 3 emails. And it's time to reward them. Like, thank you for opening that email. Thank you for not unsubscribing. Let me give you some great value. And this keeps them wanting more. Your fourth email is going to be an invitation to, again, your social media, your blog, your podcast, your private community, some place where they can engage with you other than email, only because Lord forbid something happens to one of your marketing systems. You want them to still be connected with you. So I'm always looking at like, okay, are they on my email list? And then where else do they look at me? Do they look at me on LinkedIn? Do they look at me on Facebook? Do they look at me on Instagram? Are they on TikTok? Are they coming to my events? Where else are they engaging? So at least I have 2 places. If one fails for whatever reason, I had a client recently lose her email list. It was crazy. Not going to get into it. It was sad. But if she invited them to other platforms, at least they would engage with her there. And then she could say, hey, this is what happened. Come back, what have you. Because we never know. Facebook changes its mind every other day. You don't want your whole business life to live only on one platform. You don't want to be like, oh, my audience is only on LinkedIn. Well, what happens if LinkedIn says we no longer serve businesses or goes away? Who remembers MySpace? I'm old, yeah. Who remembers MySpace? I can't even tell you how to get into my old MySpace. If I did my business only on MySpace, it would be done. Think about how many YouTubers were affected when TikTok started booming up and their whole lives were on YouTube. And then they were like, okay, now I got to pivot to TikTok. And some made the pivot and some didn't. And so we want to make sure that we have a couple of fires burning at the same time. So in case one goes out, we're still warm, right? Our leads are still warm. So you want to invite them to at least one other platform and make it a good one. Like if you're not on Twitter, don't invite them to your Twitter. You know what I mean? Like don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. I have a YouTube channel. I don't think I've ever told you guys, hey, check me out on YouTube. Why? Because I'm not super active. I'm not super consistent there. There are, if you do check out my YouTube channel, there are things there. We have a whole season of a podcast in there, along with some other trainings I did and things like that. But I'm not there consistently. So I don't say, hey, go over to YouTube. I usually say, come to the Facebook private community where you guys see me almost every single day. And then I also tell you guys, like I'm on LinkedIn more now. I'm doing better on TikTok, places like that. We do have a blog. I don't invite people there either. But yeah, just make sure it's a place where you're very active and consistent, bottom line. All right, let's move on to that 5th email. Offer another helpful resource. This could be something that's internal to your business or external. Guys, don't be afraid of giving somebody a link to a good YouTube video or another article. It doesn't have to be written by you. You still get cool points for being the person that connected them with the resource. I think some people are afraid to not be seen as the only voice in an industry. And we have to be honest, like nobody's usually the only voice in the industry. So maybe, and I do this for my clients, I'll send them a video from somebody else. Like I'm not going to make a video for everything in the world that they may one day need. If I don't have a video for it, or if I don't and they need it, I'll go to YouTube and find it and say, hey, this is a good resource. Do they go and jump ship and go to this other person that they don't know, like, or trust? They don't. They use the resource that I provided to them, that I connected them with. They say thank you and they stay with me. So you're going to offer a helpful resource, whether it's internal or external. It can be something like a guide, a template, something simple, because again, we're kind of wooing them, right? When you're trying to court a person, you want to be with, you're not just going to do one nice thing for them. You're going to do several nice things over time, right? Because you want them to be like, this is a pretty cool person that I want to spend more time with, invest more energy in. So you want them to invest more in you. You're going to have to woo them a little bit. So offer them some helpful resource to make them be like, okay, I like them. I trust them. I know them. And then on our 6th email, or your last email, again, if you want more emails, just repeat email number 3. But at the end of this email sequence, you're going to offer them something, and you're going to do a for real sale where you say, hey, have you been enjoying this content? Again, naming the person, acknowledging their pain point, saying what you do, and saying, hey, this will be a great next step. Because I never want people to leave one sequence without taking an action besides just opening the email. So whatever it is. Now, let's put a little pin in this real fast. For a welcome email sequence, we are not going from welcome email to high ticket. You can try. I don't think it's going to be a great conversion rate. All right. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to be a great conversion rate because they know, like, and trust you, but not like that. You know what I mean? Y'all acquaintances, your work colleagues, you're not best friends. To do high ticket, oftentimes you got to be on best friend level where they're like, okay, I know this person can get me from this point to the next. So don't mix the welcome sequence and think, oh, after 6 emails, I can sell them a $10,000 offer. Those better be some amazing emails. Just want to let you know. But usually, if you invite them to, maybe you invite them to a different webinar, or you invite them to an evergreen event of some sort, where they can get more value, or maybe you're giving them like they can buy an ebook or a bundle of some sort of a course, something like that. You can then upsell them, which is totally fine. Or you could just say, hey, if you're ready to move forward, book your call now. And on the call, you can do high ticket, because then again, you're having that back and forth, and you can go from being kind of sort of know you to know you in at least a 15-30 minute call. So I like to put those out there because I don't want people to do one email sequence, try to sell a $10,000 offer, and wonder why people aren't from that email purchasing that $10,000 offer. Not saying it can't happen, but not often is that going to happen. All right. So that is your welcome email sequence. Again, I think and know that all of you as small business owners need to be optimizing your emails. You need to be using sequences. You need to be looking at them. So this is why I said it's a lot, because yes, you're going to put this in and you're not going to just forget about it in the beginning. You're going to go back and look and see how many people get into your sequence, how many and where they're coming from, right? So are they coming from your lead magnet? Are they coming from your Facebook group? Are they coming from events, right? You're telling people to join the sequence, whatever. You want to see where people are coming from. You want to make sure people are getting through the emails. If you're noticing, and this is where analytics are important, if you notice, and let me show you my face while I'm talking here. But if you notice that perhaps people aren't opening certain emails, you may want to take a look at your email subject line, right? And say, okay, why aren't they opening it? Especially if they've opened others. You want to look and see, okay, if they're opening it, but they're not clicking anything, meaning they're not clicking any links, then, and you can see that in most emailing platforms. You're like, okay, well, if they're not clicking the links, then maybe my call to actions aren't great. Maybe my copy, meaning the wording you're putting, isn't enticing enough to make them click whatever the action is you want them to take. Or maybe you have too many actions. I rarely try to do an email with more than one just call to action, right? Buy this. Click here to learn more. Like, it's one thing. You don't want to give them 5 options in an email. Like, go here, and go here. Nope. We don't want 1,000 steps, especially not in your welcome sequence. Give them one action. And then you want to look at how many people are unsubscribing? And if you're noticing they're unsubscribing on email 3, then we need to do something about email 3. So it is important with any part of your marketing that you don't just do it and forget about it. You do want to go back and look at it and tweak it until you're happy with it. Depending on your industry, you can actually Google average open rate for blank industry. That'll let you know realistically what numbers you should be aiming for as far as how many people, what percentage of people are opening your emails. I think people assume that like 90% of people will open your emails. No, not usually. I actually aim for about 40%. That is my personal goal. I think my industry standard last time I looked was around like 25 to 30%. Okay. And that's why and I keep telling you guys, it's a numbers game, because somebody will say they got a 10,000, email list full of people, and only the same 100 people open their emails. Well, that's a horrible email list. It's horrible. Nobody is engaging in the content. And so it's pointless. So one, you want to look at your list and do a little audit of it every now and then and get people off. If they haven't been connected with you in, a whole 3-4 months, go ahead and let them go, because they're probably not interested in your content and they're just going to make your analytics look even worse. You want people who actually want to do business with you in your email list. I'm not saying cut them out mid-sequence, but definitely look and see again who's engaging and who's not, because it's not just about having this cool number. I think a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I got this huge email list. But again, if they're not engaging in the content, if they're not opening the content, they're not doing the call to action, then you're not going to have them as a client. You're not going to be able to get a sale out of them, which is the whole point of the marketing strategy. So again, we're looking at who's opening it, how many people are opening it. We're looking at unsubscribe rates, click rates. And then we also, like I said, make edits as needed. Make sure things are up to date. I went into a client's email sequence the other day, and they had a date in there, and it was like so far past that date. I was like, oh my gosh, check this out. And I think that when you're doing a sequence, one of the best things you can do for yourself, unless it is pertaining to a live event, like an event itself, or like a product launch, if you're going to use it evergreen, meaning like a welcome email sequence, do not put dates in there. Do not put dates in there. Just put the information, and put information that isn't going to likely change in the near future, so that you don't have to remember to go back and change the wording. But still check on it every now and then, because you'll forget. Like, I had an email sequence running, and I think it just finished. We did a big sequence a couple months ago, and I was like, let me go back and look at that. And I was like, okay, we need to make some changes here. And that's totally okay. But I wouldn't have known it if I wouldn't have looked back and been like, okay, we're better now. Let's make some changes. We're offering something different now. We've changed that offer, or this link has changed. So just make sure you are checking back on all of your marketing material, but especially your sequences, because as people are joining your list, they are going to be engaging in that. And you don't want their first or, second or, early impression of you to be that you have typos and that the links are wrong and that you got old content in here. They're like, oh my God, let me unsubscribe. This person's a mess. All right. So make sure everything is current, working well. In most email, actually all the ones I've ever seen, emailing platforms, you can send test emails to yourself. I like to put myself and my assistant in the sequence first, and run it. And then we can see, and I'll still send myself test emails, but then I can still see and know it's coming. So even if maybe I missed it when I first did the test, I'll still see it first when the actual sequence goes out, and then I can make an edit if I need to. And that's the cool thing. People can be in the sequence and you're still making edits and things like that, which is really great as well. Let me see if we had any more content in these slides real fast. All right. So some of the other sequences that we didn't talk about tonight, product sequence, event sequence. Well, we kind of talked about it, but we didn't go deep dive into it. If for some reason you are like, I want a sequence. I know I want a sequence, but I need help. There are different things you can do. I talked about the fact that at iRock, we have done with you and we have done for you. We can help work with you to develop the copy, which is the wording of your sequence. We can also help you sort and find leads, meaning contact emails to put into the sequence, right? We can do that with you. On the other side of that, what can happen is you have your wording and you want us to put it into your emailing platform, set it up, make sure it's automated. We can also do that for you. You can purchase leads, tell us your target audience, and we can give that to you as well. So it depends. I personally like to learn the technique, even if I know I'm going to outsource it later, just because, Lord forbid, I don't have the money to outsource one day. I want to know how to do it myself. So I always encourage you to start with done with, and then once you're ready, then move into done for. But either way, if you are somebody who's watching this right now and you're like, yes, I want to have an email sequence, I want to utilize and optimize my email marketing, then definitely just put in the chat, me please. That's what we're gonna do, me please. And I will be happy to DM you and we can get on a call and talk about how that might look for you. And again, at iRock, we're always about affordability. So people are always like, oh my God, it's gonna be thousands of dollars. It is not. Calm down. It's okay. We're gonna make sure you get what you need at a price point that is not gonna break the bank. But like I said, I wanted to make sure we told you that we do these services. All right. So let's talk real quick next session, because that is what we have for tonight. Next Monday, we will be talking about how to price offers for scalability. We're going to talk about pricing, because that's just a question that for some reason just keeps coming up. Like, how much should I charge for this? How much should I charge for that? So I'm going to do my best to talk about some pricing, but I think we're going to do it in a way that's a little different than we've been done in the past, because I think when we mention certain words, people put their own definitions of what that looks like. I've had people say, oh, you said make a course. I made a course and it's one video, like 1 hour video. And it's like, well, that's not the same pricing as, somebody's 6 module jam packed with, all the bells and whistles. So we'll be talking a little bit more in detail about some pricing strategies for coaches and consultants next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you would like to see that, I can't promise they'll always be in the personal Facebook page, guys. So if you're interested again in coming to our private community, just let me know. I'll be happy to send you an invite so that you can join us. It's completely free to take part. And you can actually go into the group and see all of our past Monday Night Lives as well. They are in the guide section of our private community. All right. With that being said, guys, again, just want to remind you, let me quickly go to, because I just want to make sure we say it right before we go. Don't forget the masterclass with our expert speaker on the 17th. I was like, let me go back and find the date. Yep, February 17th at 6 p.m. You must register to attend, along with, if you are interested in coming to our sales challenge, 5-day virtual sales challenge that starts February 20th through the 24th. Right? Remember, general and VIP tickets are available now for purchase, and we are going to deep dive into sales. As you can see on your screen, and let me make it bigger so you can see it. This is the breakup of the 5 days. We're using the sales method. On day 1, you're going to be able to set up your signature product. You're going to be on day 2, be able to attract and build a community of your target audience. On day 3, we're going to lead prospective clients to that offer. On day 4, we're going to execute sales calls. And then on day 5, we're going to sell like a boss. So we're going to put everything together and make sure you're good to go. So you see, we go all the way from your product creation to the sale. And we're doing high ticket. If I didn't already say that, this is high ticket. So yes, that $10,000 offer I said don't do in that welcome sequence. We're going to sell that $10,000 offer, whatever your high ticket is. We will be selling that. And working on a sales strategy for that at this challenge. So we're not selling a mini course, your ebook, your real book, anything like that. We are selling high ticket during this challenge. So if you are interested, again, I will put the links into the other platforms where I am not outside of our private community as soon as this video is over. So don't worry, you will get the links, but also feel free to message me, DM me. You also can always contact us at iRockMarketableBusinessSolutions.com. We are there. That is where our website is. You can see our other offerings, our services, our gallery. If you're looking at any of our marketing services, all of that is there. I just don't like to be too salesy on these calls because it's about value. And so let me just go here real quick and make sure, because I was not looking. See if we have any questions before we go tonight. I think we are okay. I don't see any questions. I'm giving you guys a second. All right. Yeah, I don't see any questions. If you do have questions, just put them in the comment section. Again, winners, I will post. I will send you a DM. And I think that's it. I think we got through everything tonight. Yay. All right. See you guys next Monday for our next Monday Night Live. You guys have a wonderful night. And remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock. Until next time.